Hello, friends, and welcome back to Eternal Connection with Good. Have you ever wondered about one of the Bible's most profound and darkest mysteries? Why did Lucifer, the shining morning star, fall into the eternal abyss? You might think you know the whole story about the devil, but I promise you, the Bible holds some shocking details that will completely reshape your understanding of evil, pride, and the great heavenly rebellion. Today, we're diving deep into real biblical passages like Isaiah 1:4 and Ezekiel 28, to uncover 5 jaw-dropping revelations that explain the tragic fall of the angel who became Satan. If you're a fan of theology, biblical mysteries, or just epic, universe-spanning stories, you'll want to stay until the very end. And hey, if you find this journey as fascinating as I do, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future explorations. Ready? Let's begin. Our first shocking revelation is this: Lucifer wasn't created as some ugly, horned demon. Far from it. He was originally the most perfect being God ever created. Ezekiel chapter 28 paints a breathtaking picture of him. He is described as the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Imagine this celestial being, covered in an array of precious stones: sardius, topaz, diamond, beryl, onyx, jasper, sapphire, emerald, and carbuncle, all set in the finest gold. He wasn't just any angel. He was the anointed cherub who guarded God's very throne, walking freely amidst the fiery stones in the heavenly Eden, the garden of God. His name, Lucifer, even means light bearer or morning star. He was created with music embedded in his very being. So why is this so shocking? It's because his absolute, divinely given perfection became the seed of his downfall. God made him flawless, but Lucifer twisted this gift. He looked at his own beauty and wisdom not with gratitude, but with a growing sense of self-importance, eventually leading him to believe he was equal to his Creator. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. Even the greatest gifts and most beautiful blessings can lead to a great fall if pride is allowed to take root. And his influence was immense. Revelation 12:4 tells us that his rebellion was so persuasive that he managed to drag a third of the angels down with him. A catastrophic mutiny born from his envy of God's glory. And that brings us to our second bombshell revelation. It was Lucifer's pride, and his pride alone, that triggered his cataclysmic fall. Isaiah chapter 14 verses 13 and 14 records the 5 infamous "I will" statements that echoed in his heart. He said, "I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High." Think about the sheer audacity of that. He didn't just want a promotion. He wanted a hostile takeover. He no longer wanted to serve, he wanted to be God. Isn't that shocking? In a perfect, pristine heaven, untouched by sin as we know it, evil was conceived purely in the heart of this perfect being. Ezekiel 28:15 says, "You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you." This single verse explains why pride is considered the root of all other sins. As Proverbs 16:18 wisely warns, pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Lucifer's desire to steal the glory that belongs only to God was the very act that got him cast out, plunging him from the heights of heaven into the abyss, an eternal void defined by separation from the divine presence he once guarded. Now, for our third revelation, and this one really highlights the scale of the disaster. Lucifer did not fall alone. He started a celestial civil war and dragged a multitude down with him. Revelation 12:4 uses powerful imagery, describing his tail sweeping a third of the stars out of the sky and flinging them to the earth. These stars are widely interpreted as the angels who chose to follow him in his rebellion. The conflict is described in vivid detail later in the chapter, in verses 7 through 9. A great war breaks out in heaven. Michael and his army of loyal angels fight against the dragon, that ancient serpent, now identified as the devil or Satan and his angels. The shocking part? This shows that evil can be contagious, even in a place as perfect as paradise. Lucifer, using his incredible beauty, charisma, and high position, convinced what could be billions of perfect angelic beings to turn against their own creator. The rebellion failed, of course. They were defeated and cast out of heaven, hurled down to the earth. These are the fallen angels, the demons who now work to tempt and torment humanity. Jesus himself witnessed this monumental event. In Luke 10:18, he tells his disciples, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." It wasn't a slow descent. It was a sudden, violent expulsion, a rebellion that sent shockwaves through the entire universe. This leads us to our fourth shocking revelation. Lucifer's fall had catastrophic consequences for us here on earth. Remember, Ezekiel 28 places him in Eden, the garden of God. After being cast out of the heavenly realms, where does he go? He comes right here. Genesis chapter 3 introduces him as the subtle serpent who tempts Eve. His pride didn't just vanish after his defeat. It metastasized into a burning desire for revenge. And how would he get revenge on God? By corrupting and destroying God's most cherished creation, humanity, the beings made in his very image. This is truly shocking when you think about it. His rebellion didn't end in heaven. He brought the war to our doorstep, aiming to ruin the relationship between God and mankind. His deception of Adam and Eve led directly to the entry of sin, death, and all the suffering we see in the world today. Jesus pulls no punches when describing him. In John 8:44, he calls Satan a murderer from the beginning and the father of lies. While his ultimate fate in the abyss was sealed from the moment of his fall, he hasn't been locked away yet. As the Apostle Peter warns us in 1 Peter 5-8, he prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. And that brings us to our fifth and final shocking revelation. Lucifer is destined for the eternal lake of fire, but for now, he still roams. The book of Revelation gives us a glimpse into the endgame. In chapter 20, we read that an angel will come down from heaven, seize the dragon, and bind him in the abyss for 1,000 years. After that 1,000-year period, he will be released for a short time, only to be ultimately thrown into the lake of burning sulfur. Revelation 20:10 states he will be tormented day and night forever and ever. So, why the abyss first? It's a holding cell, a display of divine justice against the ultimate rebel. Isaiah 14:15 prophesied it thousands of years ago, "But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit." What's shocking is that even in his fallen state, he continues his work of deception. 2 Corinthians 11:14 warns that Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light, deceiving nations and individuals. But his end is certain. The final victory belongs to God, and justice will be served completely. So to sum it all up, Lucifer, the pinnacle of creation, fell from grace through his own pride, rebellion, and envy. He turned perfection into eternal evil. These 5 revelations from the Bible serve as a powerful warning for us all. We must guard our hearts against pride and cling to God. What did you think of these revelations? Which one was the most shocking to you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a like, share it with someone who might find it interesting, and be sure to subscribe for more biblical mysteries. Thank you so much for joining me today. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.